the afternoon after the night before, isn't it, Duke? It's one of those. It's not over yet, though. It's not over yet.
No. Not by a long shot, and not
made it
by
hard.
not in any way, shape, or form is it over. And believe it or not, as you and I were just talking, but I'll make it. My biggest gripe isn't the result or the way people played.
Nope. And I know where he's about to go, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into that, please don't forget to like, comment on and share the stream, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that bell icon for new content alerts as and when it's added. Thank you very much indeed for your support. So, the UEFA Europa League semi-final first leg, West Ham United 1, Eintracht Frankfurt 2. So, didn't quite go the way that we thought it might when we did the preview. 50 seconds, or I think it was 48, 49 seconds actually, when it ball hit the back of the net for their opener, which I was like, what?
I was still scratching
the ankle. It did kill the atmosphere a little bit, didn't it?
Didn't it just? I mean, to be honest with you, we as fans and as players, they should have seen it coming from the Barcelona game. They did very much the same against Barcelona.
Fast start, wasn't it?
It was a very fast start, out of the blocks like nobody's business. Yeah. And I think we should have seen it coming. You can't prepare for it as much as people say, oh, yeah, should have been able to defend. No, shut up, knobs. Right? It's you're coming out match cold is my phrase on it. Not you're being caught cold because you warm up before the game, but this is match cold. This is match.
Yeah, you're not up to the pace of the game because.
And they were out, and it was 1-0, and you're kind of looking at it going, oh, that was quick. Oh, I don't like that. That's very, very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah,
but props to the fans that were in the right places. And we, there was. I've seen a lot of negative social media posts from people that weren't at the game last night.
I haven't seen anything.
Have you not? It's probably for the best. I had the afternoon off. I don't start work, and I did the cleaning this morning.
Charlie,
and then got back in bed because.
You know where you'll find sympathy, don't you? I've always told you this.
Yes, I know this, and I yes. But it was
on yourself.
I've seen a lot of fans. Well, to be fair, I didn't have a lot to drink. I was just very tired. I think it took a lot out of me and drained me as the day went on.
You're getting old, darling.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I have to say one thing before I carry on with the game. Went to the Carpenters beforehand. First time I've been to the Carpenters.
I've never been either.
Right. First time. It's literally only a 5-minute walk from Stratford Underground. Probably a 15-minute walk.
It's quite close to DLR as well.
Yeah.
Stratford High Street.
That rivaled the bowling yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. For the games that I went to, and I was in the bowling before the games at Upton Park. The atmosphere in there rivaled that. So did the speed of service. Fair play to the 8 or 9. Fair play to the 8 or 9 guys behind the bar. They did a bloody good job.
Well,
they did a bloody good job. I mean, when you've got youngsters, and when I say youngsters, I'm talking lads in their early to mid 20s ordering 15 to 20 Jaeger bombs every 30 seconds, and there's poor old me going, I just want a pint. They did really well. I'll take my hat off to them, but the atmosphere was amazing. Anyone that's not been, I do recommend, but they were forced to close last night. By the time
police orders.
Yeah, we walked round and they'd closed up. Bose was outside. He'd come out for a cigarette and he couldn't get back in because the police had ordered them to not let anyone else in through the doors, despite the fact that poor old Bose had already been in there. But yeah, back to the game. People saying that the atmosphere was flat, that all they heard was the Germans on TV, and that we didn't make any noise. We didn't make any noise. Well, I can honestly say that place, I wasn't there for the Lyon games. I can only go by that place was rocking last night, Rob. Yes,
Well, it
the
was
first
you was in the block next to me, weren't you?
204, you were 3, I was 4.
We were making noise.
Oh, lots of noise. I was banging on the metal behind me. I've got bruised fingers this morning.
Same.
Because, there was a lot of noise. It was a good atmosphere. I'll tell you what, I don't even know. Well, I do now. I didn't even know who scored the goal until I went on to Sky Sports. I thought it was Kurt Zouma. It's only when I went on to Sky Sports about 15 minutes afterwards I realised it was Mikel Antonio that scored the goal. We were singing Kurt Zouma's Magic in 204 when the goal went in. We all thought it was Zouma. But
I
no,
suppose with your eyesight being as it is, number 4 and number 9 look similar from a distance.
Mate,
says the guy wearing glasses.
I was bundling. I was bundling my brother, my brother-in-law, some poor lad in front of me that's part of my brother's football academy that he helps run. No, I've not got a gripe about the game. Listen, we were caught flat for the first goal. The picture you sent in the chat, talk to me.
Well, that was what I was sent by my brother, and obviously he was sat a row or two in front of me, as you know, he was at the game as well.
Yeah.
And he sent me that this morning, and he just asked the question, surely that's offside. I've seen it latterly, and obviously it's you got to take into account the angle that it's all at. But that photograph, he did look offside when the ball was played. But I've seen it on picture. Yeah, I've seen the VAR and the lines and all that, and as far as that's concerned, he's onside. The technology can't be wrong, can it?
Well, listen, if I may just go,
what's that?
It's not meant, okay, and listen, it's not that they don't look alike. It's the fact that I just saw the ball fall in the box, someone put it in the back of the net, and everyone around me started shouting Zouma. I'm joining in. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
nothing to do with me. My gripe on the evening, Rob, and it's a big gripe. I mean, I didn't want to go into it too soon, but
yes, we were talking about this, weren't we?
The game's pretty much a 4. It's done. The game's over. We lost 2-1. I don't think we played as well as we could do.
The first leg's over. It ain't
over.
That's
what I meant. No. The tie's not over. The game's over. The tie's not over. And I know you are, Pat. I'm pulling your chain.
Some people wouldn't be. But...
No, and that's it. Listen, and I don't. It is what it is.
Oh, I thought he looked like him. It's like, well, it's not really a sort of out of line comment if they look alike.
Oh, he's right. They don't. But we can go there, and I do agree with what Antonio and Moyes, Bowen, Lanzini, all of their social media stuff saying that we can go on and win this, and I really do believe. I mean, they're very poor at home. I think they've only won one of their last 10 at their home stadium. So
our last European game went quite well away from home.
It did well enough. So let's be honest, it's not over by a long shot, and I would fancy our chances to go there and be relatively comfortable. I did have a little bit of a worry when Zouma went down holding that ankle and he was limping around before he got to the touchline, and he kind of sprinted back from the touchline up to the dugout boxes. I was like, to the technical area, I was like, okay, he's okay. But I did say that's what you get for risking it. I mean, to be honest with you, Rob, they had two real chances and they scored from them both.
Well, they also hit the post as well,
but it wasn't. It wasn't. It resulted out nothing. They didn't get nothing from it. Other than that, they had two real chances.
It was German efficiency, Duke.
It was.
That's what
very
it was.
Much so.
Typical German efficiency.
We hit the post in the first half. That overhead kick, I'm telling you now, if that had gone in, I'd still be drinking now. If that overhead kick had gone in, I don't think I would have. In fact, I didn't stop. I got the DLR back to Lewisham and I walked into the off licence on the way round.
I agree with that statement, Pat.
Yeah.
The first goal in the second game is the one that could decide it.
But then we need to be switched on when that game kicks off, or we have kicked off, for fuck's sake, please.
We can't concede after 50 seconds.
No. I mean, listen, we wouldn't be having this conversation like this if Bowen's overhead does a Jeff Hurst and bounces. Well, it did do a Jeff Hurst. It bounced this side of the line, but you know what I mean. If it had bounced beyond,
steady.
if it had done a Frank Lampard, if it had bounced in, you know what I mean? We're not talking about what's kind of a shitty result in the grand scheme of things. And I think Bowen deserved it. I thought Bowen was good last night. He showed a lot of desire and a lot of drive. Declan Rice again was his usual outstanding, affable self. Just like, my word, how good was he? Every game that guy plays, it makes me realise just how hard we're going to have to work to keep hold of him. To be honest with you, because I'm like, have a bad one for a change, mate. Just for 5 minutes. Go on. I mean, Benny came on for, in my opinion, a very non-existent Manuel Lanzini at points. I thought he was quite poor at certain points in the game.
They do, Walshy, yeah.
And I had a bit of a conversation with the guys around me, and we were in a general consensus. You know, again, he made some good inroads. He made some good runs. He tried.
Yeah.
But again, the final ball at times was lacking. I mean, I know he hit the post, and it would have been a worldie, and I would have got the ump that I got the wrong football shirt last night. And I should have got a Benny one if he'd scored that. I tell you, I would have been screaming his name from the top of the stand. But he didn't. And then 2 seconds later,
hold on. Let me just hang on. I'm just gonna give someone a phone call there, Duke. Just as you say that. Yeah. Hello, James. Yeah, he said something nice about Benny. Yeah. All right, mate.
I can listen quite quickly about to take that back because he ended up lashing one 30 yards over the crossbar when an easier pass was there. And I'm not going to dig him out because there were several players yesterday I didn't think were very good either. You know, again, I personally think Vladimir Soufal. I think
You're welcome, son.
Soufal would have been a better option down the right, attacking wise.
I agree.
I think Ben Johnson found his more suited role in the centre back of a back three rather than a full back. I think.
I don't think he was. I'll be honest. Although the graphics showed him playing at fullback, I don't think he was being played as a fullback. I think he was playing at wing back. Because if you watched him, and obviously you were sat basically in line with me, sort of like along the same row, weren't you? You must have seen it the same as me. You had 3 players in a row. You had Cresswell, you had Zuma, you had Dawson. Johnson was another 10, 15, 20 yards pushed further up.
Yeah, but he
pretty much all the time.
But he doesn't have an attacking output in our team. He really doesn't.
No. But I think he was being played as a wing back.
Yeah, and I would have preferred Soufal in there personally. I'll be honest. Everyone was raving before the game, including myself, about their number 10, Kostic.
Yeah,
mate, I wasn't impressed.
Really?
I wasn't. I'll be honest. I wasn't impressed. Listen, they moved the ball very quickly from back to front. That was the only thing I was impressed with. Other than that, I really wasn't impressed with that German side. I really, really wasn't. They didn't do anything that made me go, "Oh, that was very quick from front to back."
Did you not? Was you not impressed by Knauf, the guy that scored the first goal? I thought he was very impressive.
Wasn't impressed by any of them personally.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And I really do fancy our chances in the second leg. I listen. We didn't turn up and we didn't play. Is all I've got for you there. I was very disappointed when you consider just how.
Oh, well, look who's here!
Yeah,
all the way from. He came to watch this game, Lucas,
from Washington.
From Washington DC. Incredible.
And Frankel was there, which I thought was outstanding.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. Where I walked into the Carpenters with my brother-in-law, Dan, and I'm looking along the bar, and in the Carpenters, it kind of goes around.
Very sober individual.
Doorway. He's a beast. He's an absolute monster. He's like, honest to Jesus Christ, God, he's huge. Right? He's 6'4", I think he was. I was looking up to him, and he literally is. I tell you what, he's like you couldn't. I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show. I think it's on Dave Mountain Men. That's right. Lucas, big old beard, baseball cap, tank, like that. Loved him. Met him. He came. I was at the bar and I could see him through the archway. So I was trying to get his attention. Nothing. Sent him a text message saying I can see you, and he was like, "Show yourself." And then Budgie found me, and then he came round the corner. He came round the corner and tapped me on the shoulder. I was like, "Who the fuck?" Yeah, a massive bear hug. Charlie. Now be fair, please. Be fair.
That's a bit. Well, no, it's. Well, I was going to say rude, but I know the sort of like relationship you have with Mr. Frankel, so it's probably par for the course, isn't it?
What was the?
It's a sort of love-hate relationship, isn't it?
It is. They're the pair of them. I love them both to pieces. But no, meeting everyone yesterday. I mean, Rob, we all met up, didn't we, outside of the Heineken. Athers, Becker, Happy was there, Budgie.
Yep.
Malsey after his Sky TV appearance. Bose showed up.
Yes, he's getting a little bit sort of like superstarish now, isn't he? You know, it's all going to his head now. You know, he's doing autograph signings and talking to Sky Sports, and I don't know.
Hey, listen, he's found it, the boy. But it was just, I mean, I've got to say, it was just fantastic. It was literally like a YouTube meetup in front of the Heineken bar.
Yeah,
wasn't it? It was like
mental, wasn't it?
I think there was about 15 to 20 of us all gathered in that little, like, we were just hugging, and there was a lot of talking, a lot of singing going on. Now, if I may, Trudge,
you're gonna go in now, aren't you?
First things first, they didn't. They certainly didn't. I was there, and I listen. When they made noise, we responded, and we did respond. And in 203, 204, 205, we responded. Now, my massive issue with this. So prior to the game, okay, we were all informed, weren't we, via the website and social media, all the rest of it, that if any Frankfurt fans are found in the home areas of the ground, they will be removed from the stadium. We were told if we were caught selling our tickets, or if anyone was caught selling tickets, that we would be banned from the stadium. What I can confirm is I was sat in 204. Rob, you were in 203, but you were a little bit. You were slightly behind, like the section that I was up against, which was the ball. Like
there's a little bit that comes out, isn't there?
Yeah, there were on estimate 300 Frankfurt fans in block 20. I'm gonna say 207, 206, 207. There were 300 Frankfurt fans. Now, I saw roughly 20 of them. I bought my new shirt, as you can see behind me, with Crocs on the back.
Very nice.
An homage to the pain in the arses that are on this channel.
You love them.
And that's why I got the shirt. I'm not going to deny. That's my screensaver, if I may.
Look at that.
Me happy.
That's a thorn between two roses, isn't it?
It was.
That's two very beautiful young ladies.
I actually said this was the rose, and they were the two thorns last night. But I had to drink it.
Yeah.
There were 300, but I saw at least 20 at the end of the game remove their shirts, which were these ones, bought for £25 in the club shop. They removed those to have Frankfurt shirts on underneath, the black and the white ones, home and away.
Brilliant.
And the stewards did F all, Rob, right? They celebrated their first goal after 50 seconds, because I was caught with the hoo-ha. All the what? Hang on. What's he unscribing for? What comment?
Hey, what?
Was it me underneath, Mr. Walsh? Him? What have I done? What did I say?
No, he does finish it with LOL.
Yeah, I know. I want to know what comment. I want to know what I said.
I don't think he's being serious, but
there was a big old hoo-ha after the first goal, 50 seconds in. And they're all celebrating, Rob. They're all jumping up and down, cheering, singing. I was coming in. I was coming in through gate A, entrance A, and I heard some woman with a German accent behind turn around and go, "So are you lot West Ham fans?" And the response to her was a resounding "fuck off" from about 30 people. To which
we're all walking in with decked out in claret and blue. What do you reckon,
Right?
love?
But
We've all
to
got
which
East
she
London
was pointed
accents.
out, to stewards who just let her walk in.
No.
Stewards let her walk in and go wherever she needed to go, right? There were 300, Rob, sat in our end, right? Now, you cannot tell me that 300 have been given tickets sold by fans, you and I, the people in the chat, all in the same place. Okay?
Wow.
All in the same place. That's a corporate thing. That's a partnership thing, that those seats have been sold like that.
Yeah.
What
think
fucking
so.
annoys me, Rob, is they weren't even removed. There was about. Oh right, sorry. Okay, you're not the pain in the arse, Andy. I was talking to the likes of Happy and Becca, and not Becca in the chat, but Specky Beck off of Happy's chat. Not that Becca in the chat isn't a lovely person. Get that in before she walks in tonight and punches me in the back of the head.
Such a crawler.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Does your brown tongue match the colour of your eyes?
It might do. They're blue though. Yeah, it's the fact that 30 to 40 stewards were deployed on the stairs over by 206 and 207 to protect the 300 German fans that were there rather than remove them. They were not removed. Yeah? It's not about whining about ticket allocation, Trudge. They shouldn't have fucking been there.
They shouldn't have been there, no.
We've been threatened with our tickets. We've been threatened with our season tickets. Okay.
Yeah.
Not that I have one, but people have been threatened with their season tickets.
Yeah.
We were told that they would be removed from the stadium if they were found in home sections of the ground. Nothing fucking happened. And then we're being accused of being aggressive. BBC News have put something out that German radio commentators have had their headsets ripped off of them after West Ham had equalised, and then you've got all the German press corps were being absolutely, this is devastating blow. Their confidence has been shattered. This would never happen. Fuck yourself, right? Don't start making out West Ham fans to be those people again. It was one person that ripped off the headsets of one person.
I think they've nicked 2 people from what I've been led to believe.
Now, if that's the case, good. Arrest them, charge them, and then maybe don't let them back in the club because they make it look bad. But I'm telling you now, the fact that they sent out 300 stewards, 30 to 40 stewards to protect 300 of them sat in the home end when we were told it won't happen, that's disgraceful by the club. Disgraceful by the club.
Fair enough. Moving on to matters on the pitch. So none of the Frankfurt fans, you got me at it. None of the Frankfurt players you were impressed by. You've already said that.
No.
What about well, I won't get you sort of like your player ratings. We're going to do that a little bit later on. But was there a standout player from West Ham? May I ask?
Declan Rice, as always, mate.
I thought he looked exceptional.
He literally grabbed every single player by the scruff of the neck and said, "Look, come on, let's do it." It's just, I can't. I said earlier, every time that plays like he does, it makes it harder for us to keep hold of him because he's just, Lucas, it was having foreigners in the ground. Just joking. It's a little wink now. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. I can't. Probably, Pat. Probably. I'll be honest. I was told to leave the ground at one point last night at the end of the game. I basically, where we were coming down the stairs in 204, it was gridlocked. You couldn't move. And 205 and 206, all the seats were empty. So I walked down the seating to get to the steps at the end of 206 by 207. And obviously that just so happened to be where it was all kicking off. But I couldn't be bothered to stand around. I wanted to get out of the ground. So I walked down And I bumped into about 7 or 8 gentlemen that were kicking off with a poor steward, poor sod. He's there going, "It's not me. What do you like?"
Yeah, it's like they're not the ones selling the tickets.
So
They're on
I
minimum wage,
jumped.
for
I
goodness
was
sake.
literally standing at the step entrance coming up, and they're all above me. The Frankfurt fans are all above me, and I'm standing there and I'm talking to the steward, and he's, "What do you want me to do? I can't do nothing. There's loads of them up there. We can't, there's only so many of us. What can we do?" And there are aggressive West Ham fans running up and down the stairs. I saw a couple of punches thrown by an idiot who was then grabbed by two stewards. And yeah, he was frog marched out and thrown off the
Pissed up, probably
not off the concourse, but off onto the concourse.
Whee!
Mate, I wouldn't have blamed
chuck him over. Get him over there.
And then I walked down and I kind of went back up to see, because there was about 6 or 7 of us and 4 of us came down and the other 3 didn't follow us. So I went back up to have a little nose, and it looked like one of the main stewards. He put his hand on my shoulder. He said, "Look, you're on camera. You're being watched. It's probably time for you to go." And it seemed like he was just aiming this at me. And then 2 German-speaking gentlemen in suits with West Ham lanyards and badges and all the rest of it. And their badges said that they were the rapid response team. So I was essentially escorted back to the stairs, down and out of the stadium, not out of the stadium, just to the stairs, by the West Ham rapid response team. But there was no issue. They shook my hands.
Yeah.
I thanked them for a good night, and I walked out. So there was no issue on my part for obviously any issues that were caused. I wasn't, but I was asked to leave at that moment, and yeah, it was ridiculous. It's the fact that like I say, we've been told one thing, and quite clearly that really isn't the case, and we deserve an explanation from it, because I came out and I kind of sat back and I've had a little thought about it this morning and throughout the day, and I personally feel like we've been lied to by the club again. I mean, I know that's nothing unusual, really, but we've been told one thing and the complete opposite has happened. They've gone into the club shop, about 20 of them. They
send them a tweet or something. Send them an email. I don't know.
And then they've taken them off at the end of the game, thrown them on the floor, and they're standing there celebrating in their Frankfurt shirts. They were celebrating after 50 seconds, and they were still there 95 minutes later after the game. They were left there. We were told, well, that won't be the case. So what's the situation? What's the crack? What's occurring? You know what I mean? It just winds me up a little bit that proper fans.
I'm not being funny. Did you get any footage of this? I'm not saying I disbelieve you. What I'm saying is that if you've got footage, maybe you could have sort of like put it on an email or something and sent it to the club and say, "Look, here it is. Here's the evidence. What were you doing about it?"
Oh, listen, if the club and I mean this, if the club decide to turn a blind eye against this when it was incredibly blatant. I'm not being funny. If they've got me on camera, okay. If they've got me on camera, and I've been told I'm on camera, I'm standing probably 25 rows down from 300 Frankfurt fans at the top. So I'm promising now they would have had them on camera as well. So Russ Budden, he saw it. He can vouch for me, saying that there were that
I'm not saying I disbelieve you.
You're not saying that you don't believe me, no. But I'm just saying that's
the point of view of making the complaint officially to the club.
I'll listen. I'll be putting something down on paper once I'm
very
not suffering
20th
anymore.
century.
But it just frustrates me because we've been promised one thing and they're taking the piss, really.
Yeah. Let's get back to the match. Just looking at these stats here, Duke. We made 15 attempts. The thing that worries me now, 15 attempts, 1 goal, so a conversion rate of 6%. German efficiency, 8 shots, 2 goals, conversion rate 25%. But another little thing I'd like to draw your attention to, and this did my head in yesterday. Set pieces, 8. 8 attempts from set pieces. Now, normally, I'd suggest if we had 8 attempts from a set piece, we'd probably do a little bit better than we did. Some of them set plate pieces yesterday were awful. What's gone wrong?
We're overthinking it. I said this to my brother last night.
That statement I completely concur with, Trodge.
Yeah,
100%.
And then what Pat says underneath as well is well, he's right there as well.
Wow.
But again, we're being told that wouldn't be the case. The club said that wouldn't be the case. We wouldn't have German fans in with. But hey ho, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We ain't going to change it now. Yeah, I think we're overthinking it now. A lot of our corners are short corners. I don't know if you've noticed this.
Mm-hmm.
It's painful. I look at the last attempt last night. We had a throw in wide on
Mickey.
Wide on the left hand side, and Mickey took the throw straight into the keeper's arms. The keeper weren't even challenged.
Waste of time, wasn't it?
Didn't even have anyone in and around the keeper to try and stop him from coming from it. Because who would have been that person? Well, that would have been Mickey, and Mickey was taking the throw. So no one else tried to take that role. They bundled everyone into the box. Cressy and Ben Johnson went back to the centre circle.
Cheers,
everyone
Pat.
else was, cheers, buddy. Everyone else was bundled into the box, and Mickey threw it straight into the goalkeeper's arms. And I think 20 seconds later, game over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was watching it, and I've got a match day vlog that I did upload it to the channel, and then very quickly discovered that something had gone wrong with the upload, so I had to delete it, and I'm in the process of uploading it again. But some of the set pieces that I got on film was just pitiful. I'm like, either we're not clearing the first man, or if we do clear the first man, there's no one that's making a real beeline for the ball in flight and getting something on it. It was just like the ball would be played in, oh, it's gone straight to the goalkeeper. Ball's been played in, oh, it's been cleared by the defender. And it's a million miles away from, I guess, what we've become accustomed to with West Ham under David Moyes, because we was obviously last season, and for part of this, if we got a set piece, it was like it's almost as good as a penalty.
Yeah,
almost.
We were looking at
but it's gone completely to pot.
Yeah.
Oh, Jazz is here.
Hey, Jazz.
How you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Get that rum out. You need to have a little bit of rum to drown your sorrows.
He had a few of them.
Good lad.
It was ridiculous, really. Listen, I have no doubt that next Thursday is going to be a completely different story. And
well, if it isn't, we're out.
Hopefully, come Friday, you and I sit down and we have a slightly different conversation based around this. But that being said, I mean, regardless, it's been a great season.
Oh, massively. I mean, like I say,
not going to beat ourselves up just yet about it. I'm really not.
I was concerned at the beginning of this season that we've got European football, we've got a small squad. Hello, Darren. Hope you're well, mate. Darren, I met him on the boats.
Oh, did you?
Met him on the boats. We had a nice little chat, and lovely guy, Darren. And I might even see you there Sunday, mate. You never know your luck. If you're going, let me know. Back to the match. It was like I say, set pieces really disappointed me. The goal after 50 seconds, like I say, was a real body blow. But as I say, we had chances, and that's the thing. Yes. I'm kind of clinging a little bit of hope to the fact that we can't play that. We can't create that many chances again and not convert more than one. 15 attempts and one converted for a 6% conversion. Surely, if we can improve our conversion rate and tighten up a little bit at the back. Because let's be honest, right? I know we've obviously got to do the match preview for the Arsenal game, but I'm a little spoiler. If I was David Moyes, I would not play Kurt Zuma against Arsenal.
No, I wouldn't.
Because I'm not 100% convinced that he was fit, 100% fit yesterday.
I agree with you. Completely agree with you.
I think that we rest him against Arsenal, and he hopefully has that intervening time, the week between the two legs against Frankfurt, to just get that little bit stronger, that little bit sharper, and hopefully we see a better version of Kurt Zuma, which can hopefully translate to keeping a clean sheet in Frankfurt. Because I think if we keep a clean sheet in Frankfurt, but we have the attacking output that we did yesterday, but just with a little bit more efficiency, we win and we go through, in my opinion.
Without a doubt. Yeah,
But
I agree. I'll tell you what. I agree with Lucas. Both goals were incredibly frustrating. Cresswell did to deal with it. Yeah, he's right. The second goal was some very quick passing, and it was bang 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 bang. It was good to watch. But I agree with what Trudge says in the next comment. A lot of the forums know what to do. We go the same as Leon with Johnson at left back and Soufal at right back. Johnson, for me, looks a better left back than he does a right back.
I find it difficult to disagree with that. I did think that Cresswell, his delivery has dropped off the face of the cliff. I mean, it's just like it used to. Like I say, it was not so long ago. Cresswell's delivery, you could rely on it. Pretty, the statement there, Cresswell's too slow. Listen, he's been slow for a number of seasons, but he's found a way. Obviously, with
negated that with his delivery.
Yeah, Fornell's obviously coming in just slightly ahead of him. Rice covering him when Cresswell goes forwards, allowed Cresswell to get forward and have that little bit more defensive security than he had before. Because don't forget, before he had Felipe Anderson there.
Yeah.
Not, just left him too badly exposed. So it's not like he wasn't slow before. He was. It's just that we managed to find a way to sort of like negate that particular problem. But at the minute, his delivery's completely gone to pot. So it's like, well, what is Cresswell offering? With all due respect, not an awful lot.
Not a great deal right now. Needless to say, not a great deal. And it's frustrating. But again, agree with what you say, Rob. We can go there. We keep a clean sheet and we can win it. And it really is that simple. That's the be all and end all. I'm not being funny. I never felt like we weren't going to score last night. We hit the post, crossbar. What was it? Post twice, crossbar once. So we hit the woodwork 3 times last night. We can go there and win. I agree. I feel that we're losing a lot of Souček and what Souček can do, because Declan Rice is wanting to drive on and it's not working in our favour. We need him to sit a little deeper. And Souček be the player going forward.
I'm going to have to just disappear just momentarily, guys. I do apologise, Duke. I'll be back in about 20 seconds or so.
No, come on, I got it. I just, looking at, I don't necessarily agree with you there, Jazz. But again, that's not a slight on what you're saying. I don't think it's that he doesn't like defending. I just don't think he can defend as well as what he used to. And he's now slow. It's like, as Trudge says there, we also need the players to cover Cresswell. It does. It costs us getting out quicker. And there's the agreement there. Rice needs to drop deeper. As I said, we look good at the end when Rice is pushing us forward and going for 1-2s. Agree, but that's that's us trying to get ourselves back into the game. That's not where we shouldn't have been to that point, which was annoying. Andy says, do you think that the whole team is struggling at the minute? So mistakes are coming into play because the players are trying too hard.
Sorry about that.
That's all right, mate. I also think it's because the players are tired, and mistakes are being made on the back of that. And obviously, then they're trying too hard to try and rectify mistakes that have been made, i.e., the goal after 50 seconds. And yeah, they're trying too hard. Then, as Andy says, trying to improve things.
Yeah, no, that's fair observation to make. Just looking here, anything sort of, you got 50% of our attacks 40% of our attacks were coming down our left, but nothing. It might have been coming down the left, but as we just said, not really. I mean, I thought Pablo Fornals had a poor game as well. I mean, he started it off poorly. I mean, because the goal, I attribute the first goal down to Pablo Fornals. You watch it again, and he's what the bloody hell is he doing?
Yeah, you could say the same for Cresswell, because Cresswell, as well as Jazz says there, he's very conscious not being exposed, so he leaves Fornals to cover, that side of the pitch. So as much as you say there, and we kind of dig out Fornals a little bit, Cresswell's got to take a little bit of the blame there as well. But you can blame the team. We weren't switched on. We were not switched on straight off the bat.
So where do we need to? What do we need to do to put it right for the second leg? I mean, sort of like, what fundamentals would you make the change? Swapping round Kufel and Johnson and dropping Cresswell out?
Leon, we need to go with the same mindset, the same attitude, mentality. That needs to be the same as what it was against away at Lyon. This Frankfurt side, for me, are no better than the Lyon side that we've beaten. This Frankfurt side are no better than the Seville side that we've already beaten. I really do believe that they are not any better than we are. And we are capable of beating them. We've beaten United. We've beaten City. Liverpool.
We're one of only two teams to have beaten Liverpool in the Premier League. Yeah.
Spurs.
But
and I'm not being funny. If you would turn around and say, right, Liverpool against Frankfurt.
But then again, that was several months ago, and I'm not too sure that we're that West Ham at the moment.
It might be the same.
It might be the same players, and it might be the same coaching staff and all the rest of it. But something fundamentally has changed.
Well, it was the same team again. You look at our team that we put out against Chelsea, we deserved the point. But that Chelsea team would have shat all over that Frankfurt side last night. So listen, I really do think that we're capable of winning this. We go to the game with a new attitude, a new look.
A little bit of luck as well. You always need a bit of luck.
I'm not being funny. We hit the post twice and the crossbar 3 times.
Yeah.
You say we didn't have any luck last night. The atmosphere was good last night. I felt
fine where we were, Jazz, and exactly what you say there. I thought that their fans, all the stuff about some of them being in the wrong section to one side, and just the ones that were sat where they should have been sat. I think they were very creditable. They were making lots of noise. They were jumping around. They were waving their flags. They were white flags, but
white and black flags. I did say this. Would they think they're French? Was my words in the bathroom. Why are you here? Paul's not working. Why are you here?
She just wants to come and say hello to you.
I'm famous now. I've got to live with that, haven't I?
Yeah, there you go. But right,
I did get noticed by someone in the Carpenters as well. You're a dude from Forged, yeah, I am. Yeah.
You didn't get interviewed by Sky Sports, though.
I've not been interviewed by Sky Sports like Mr. Miles was, and
I did notice actually when I saw that Mr. Banks was down as West Ham reunited as well. Was he? Has Milesy signed him up or something?
No, Milesy's probably just used his brain and gone, hang on a minute, I'll get my name on there twice.
I wonder if Mr. Banks knew anything about it. Probably not until afterwards. Good on him.
To be honest with you, James, they shouldn't have been there. Regardless, that's I'm not being funny. Were they Frankfurt fans or were they West Ham fans? Because if they were Frankfurt fans,
I was going to say they might not have necessarily been.
But if they were Frankfurt fans, they shouldn't have been there. We were told by the club that they wouldn't be there. We were threatened as fans.
Yes.
With our future visits to the London Stadium. So, I'm.
You're very
off.
disappointed, aren't you?
I'm frustrated with it, Rob. Don't get me wrong. It's only my 5th game I've been to this season, which is a
He
little bit of
was.
It was a
Bloody
Frankfurt
hell!
event. Shouldn't have been there.
Shouldn't have been there. Even if he might have been very polite, might have been very respectable, and all the rest of it, Jazz. But fundamentally, he should not have
We
been
were
there.
made promises by the club that there would be fans removed if they were fans of the opposition.
Yeah.
But they were in the home parts of the stadium. We've been let down by the club again. I mean, I don't know. I'm surprised by this.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, your section, Jazz, it's you're in quite a sort of how can I put this?
Respectable.
A very respectable part of the ground. There you go. I was thinking how best to describe it. You are in a very respectable part of the ground where a lot of the good people go, such as yourself.
It's a very lovely area of the ground,
Yes.
this is, I have to say.
So it has to be a West Ham fan, but fundamentally, this guy might have been a very nice guy, a very polite guy, not a hooligan, someone that was very quiet, very polite, very respectable. Yes, you are, Jazz. We know, especially when you've got a couple of rums inside you. But fundamentally, you shouldn't have been there.
If Becca's still watching downstairs, she needs to get out of the box and stop standing at that end of the bar. I'm also going to put it in the chat. But carry on.
Well, there's what I wanted to get into now, Duke. I mean, we've chatted about the match. I think probably now I need to not literally pin you down, but I need to talk to you about this. So here it is. Player ratings time, Duke. Time for you to give your marks out of 10, and you can also utilize your hero or zero award. So, shall we start between the sticks and go?
I can make it very easy for you.
Can you?
Make this very simple.
Okay.
6. Apart from one player, an 8. Actually, 6, one player, an 8, one player, a 5. The 8 gets the Superman. The Z goes on the 5.
Right. Okay. So everybody's a 6 except for the 8. Talk to me why the 8 got the 8.
Because the 8 is the 8. The 8 is just everything we don't want to lose right now.
I'm guessing you're talking about Mr. Rice.
The number 41. I thought he was our best player. You might need to change the colour of it.
No, it's fine.
Oh, is it because it's at the back? All right, yeah, no worries. Every time we play, the guy emphasises why we need him. Every time we play, the guy just shows exactly what we're missing. Every time we play, the guy is just absolutely second to none. It's not a Russian Z. We used the Z before the Russians decided to.
No, it's not. It's the mark of Zorro. We had this last week. It's not. It's the mark of Zorro or Zero.
And yeah, I just think that he needs. We've got to do everything we can to keep him.
Okay, so who gets the 5?
Left back.
Ooh,
Mr. Cress.
Mr. Cresswell. Talk to me. What's the reasoning? Is it the set piece delivery or open play or defensively? What?
Delivery. I don't know. There's yesterday. It's not in general. It's not the It's not anything other than that game. Is that yesterday he was poor. Yesterday, I personally felt he was the worst player on the pitch yesterday. I know some people might think that it was for nows. Bearing in mind, I've given everyone else a 6 apart from Declan Rice. So you make of that what you will.
Do you not think that Thomas Souček is becoming a little bit of an elephant in the room? Because I think
do. Thomas Souček is becoming an elephant in the room because of Declan Rice's new role, and that
I'm not entirely convinced that's the sole reason. Because yesterday, I'm not being funny, there were an awful lot of passages of play where I saw where Thomas Souček was quite a bit further forward than Declan Rice was, but he just couldn't influence the game offensively.
That's because he doesn't need to. What he needs to do is he needs to be arriving late. So, a la Declan Rice against Leon for the second goal. That's where I'd love Thomas Souček to be every single time. Is on the edge of the box for the follow-ups. The one breaking.
Cheers, Walshy. Take care, mate.
Walshy. Take it easy, mate. The one breaking into the box last, and I just think that role's changed, and Trudge is right. I just think it's.
But neither does Declan Rice.
He didn't play Sunday.
If that's the first time in Christ knows how long.
Yeah, but how long? How many games had Souček played for club and country consistently over something like 100? I think you said over 2 years. It was something ridiculous that he played consistent games, and I really do think he's fucking knackered. Now,
I agree with that statement, Epic. But that's kind of the same problem we've got with Antonio.
That's the same problem you've got throughout the team. That's not just one player. You sit there and go, okay, could we replace Cresswell with someone better from, another player? Could we replace Fornells, Benny, Vlasic, Souček, Lanzini, Johnson, Dawson, Zuma? Listen, we all know that there are better players out there than those in our team, bar probably Declan Rice. There is a better attacker out there than Antonio. There's maybe there's not someone better than Bowen in the Premier League for what Bowen brings to us. Yeah. I'm not saying that Salah's not better than Bowen, but I'm saying would Salah bring the same thing to a West Ham team in the way that West Ham play as he brings for Liverpool in the way they play? Probably not. It wouldn't work. He probably wouldn't work in the West Ham way as he does in the Liverpool way. In the same way that I don't think Bowen would work in the Liverpool way as he does in the West Ham way. Do you see what I mean?
That's kind of my point, Epic, is that we haven't got with maybe not so much Cresswell because we've obviously got the option of putting Ben Johnson there, but with Antonio and Souček, because we've got the squad that we've got and it's that paper thin, when Antonio and Souček's performances drop, well, who else can you put in? Do you see what I'm saying?
But then what's the point in you wouldn't replace Antonio or Cresswell or Souček? Well, for me, that's just it's not a silly
and I agree.
comment.
I think part of it possibly is fatigue. So fine, rest him for a couple of weeks.
I'm not saying it's a silly comment by Epic, but what I mean is, listen, if you're looking to improve, okay, and it's the same as what Gonzo said over on Hammer's chat, is that if you're looking to improve, what you need to improve is you don't improve the bench. Or you don't improve the squad players. What you need to do is you need to improve the first team. Mm-hmm. Okay. So at the moment, if you look at what we've got, you've got Fabianski is first choice goalkeeper. You've got Areola, you've got Randolph, you've got Martin. Okay. Well, even if we sign Areola, that for me is an improvement on Fabianski. Fabianski drops to the bench, you piss the other two off, and you've strengthened your goalkeeping position as such, right? So then you go, okay, what we need to do right now is we need to replace Cresswell. We need to try and sign a stronger starting left back. What Cresswell then does is Cresswell drops to the bench. That strengthens our bench because we've got a first teamer as such going down to the bench.
Yeah.
And a stronger player coming in. So you're strengthening both your starting lineup and your bench. You could say the same, right? No disrespect, but you would go out to try and buy someone that is better than Thomas Souček. Because what you do then is Souček drops to the bench, you strengthen your first team, you strengthen your bench. You go out and you try and replace Antonio with a proper striker. By signing a proper striker, you drop him down and then you've strengthened your bench and your starting lineup. Darwin Nunez to be, Belotti at Torino. You improve both positions.
Divock Origi.
I don't think that's going to happen personally, but then you strengthen your bench as well as your starting lineup, and that's the way I think we need to go. I think that's how we need to approach it now.
Well, talking about the bench, well, we only actually used one sub, which now I know that you look at the bench and attacking options 2-1 down. Probably the only attacking options realistically we had was Andrei Yarmolenko and Dan Chesters. Now, I know that the chances of him using Dan Chesters is probably remote, but fuck it. Why not? But we made one sub. Was you surprised or was you?
Yeah, I was. I'll be honest with you.
I wasn't. If that makes sense, part of me's like, oh, for Christ's sakes. But then there's another part of me that's like, yeah, I could probably see that coming if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it just frustrates me, Rob. I think we're better. I think we're better than we gave ourselves credit for yesterday. I think Moyes needs to take a little bit of responsibility for not having, 2 or 3 positional players for each position. All the good and big clubs do.
Yeah,
they have 2 or 3 positional players for each position. Whether or not they're up and comers, i.e., Billy Gilmore at Chelsea, currently on loan at Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Did he spend last season out on loan?
Gilmore, no, he's at Norwich.
Norwich.
It's Conor Gallagher.
Gallagher is at Palace.
Yeah.
But again, 2 players of roughly the same sort of position coming through at Chelsea would be fantastic replacements for the likes of Kante and Jorginho. But there you've got straight off the bat 2 players to fill in for those 2 players next season. So all of a sudden you've got 2 positions and 4 players. Everyone's saying about the fact that we've kind of had a bit of a shipwreck moment where we've not had a great luck with injuries to our centre backs. Well, we had 4 injuries at the start of the season. 4 centre backs at the start of the season. So you had 2 positional players for each position. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we should have across the. That's what we should have across the board. There should be. What you can have a squad of 22, can't you? First team squad of 22.
I think it's 25.
I say 25. Guess what? That's 2 positional players for every position on the pitch.
Yes,
but they should be. And we're
not
saying
rocket science.
Competing players, not backup, not your youngsters. Listen,
David Martin.
Exactly. If you've got a youngster that you think is able to come through, let's say Baptiste, well, then they're part of that 25. But you've also got Zuma, Dawson, Diop, and Bonner. You should have 2 left backs, whether that's going to be Johnson and Cresswell, whether that's going to be Cresswell and someone else. But there needs to be 2 in there.
Yeah.
2 right backs. We've currently got 3 in Johnson, Fredericks. I'm not even considering Masuaku as a left back because I can't even begin to do that to myself. You got 4 CDMs in Noble, Crowell, Souček and Rice, yet you don't do nothing with the other 2. I get Noble's legs are where they're at, and probably no disrespect, but games like Norwich, that's then you should have. Then when you look at it, we've kind of got Benrahma, Vlasic, Lanzini, Fornals. That's 4. Bowen, 5. To go across 4 spots. Yarmolenko, but he's a strike. I'd say he's more. Yeah. So you've got 5 players competing for 6 spots. Well, you've got 5 players competing for 6 places because that's 2 in each place. But we don't have that, and there's certainly. Let's be honest. And then you've got Antonio.
I'm not too sure I'd trust him to open a can of beans, quite honestly.
You don't have anyone to back that up. So I think we were sitting on 16, I think someone said, of 16 first team players, of which, let's say, Baptiste, Chesters, Ashby are the other filling the gaps of what you have left, of which 3 of them are goalkeepers. So all of a sudden you're down to 13 outfield players. It ain't strong enough.
No.
It ain't strong enough.
Hasn't been strong enough for a long time, but we've kind of got away with it.
We have got away with it, but unfortunately, if we want European football on the regular, we're proving now that we can't get away with it. And that's what it boils down to. It's an extra so far this season, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There'll be an extra 12 games 13 games if we get to the final. There's an extra 13 games this season on top of if we were to do well in the League Cup and the FA Cup, however many extra that brings. It's not just the 38 games in the Premier League anymore. All of a sudden, 16 games in the or 15 games, I can't remember. Say 16 games in the Europa League. All of a sudden, playing 54 games. Plus FA Cup. Let's say we play 4 games in an FA Cup in a season. All of a sudden, you 4 games in the League Cup. All of a sudden, you're looking at maybe playing 64 games in a season with a bare bones squad, and it doesn't work. You can't. You look at the players. You look at the likes of Souček. He struggles. These 2 boys get a 6 on the screen, by the way.
I was going to say, because obviously your mate's there. He was the only sub used. Talk to me. What was your thoughts on his performance? Because I'll be honest, right? He had that. I thought the shot that grazed the outside of the post, I thought was fantastic skill for him to manipulate the ball, get away from the defenders, get his shot away, and it was 6 inches, and it goes. It's nestling in the top corner. It's top bins. I do think that there were other times, though, where he could have made different decisions. Do you know what I mean? Like laying the ball off.
Footballing intelligence.
Well, there was the one where he had the shot, wasn't he? The other shot.
Which ended up in row triple Z.
Where there was was it Antonio that was free? And I'm like, just play him in.
Yep.
Play him in. And if Antonio fucks it up, it's not your fault. You've done your job.
You've done your bit, but he doesn't. And this is what really
But I have to give him credit for, like I say, I have to give him credit for the shot. Like I say, it was great skill for him to do what he did, get away, get his shot away.
Lost his man. Like you say, really good manipulation with the ball to get it out of his feet, to be able to get that. And that's, you know what? That's what I want to see from the guy. He was 6 inches away from being a hero last night. He really was.
That really would have boosted his confidence as well, wouldn't it?
It would have boosted his confidence. It would have shut me the fuck up. Let's not mess around.
I'd have had some fun with that.
Listen. I would hold my hands up and say, brilliant. Like I've got nothing personal against the man. I want him to succeed because he's a West Ham player.
Of course.
But it's a football intelligence, and I see it far too much in him. I called Ben Johnson out on it a couple of weeks ago. Yes, okay. We scored from it, the cross where he put it in. It was an aimless cross with one person in the box. Yes, we got a good result from that because the defender, rather than letting it go because there was no one behind him, didn't get the call, whatever, it would have just gone out of play for either a corner or a throw, a goalkeeper or a throw. He tried to head it and it landed at the feet of Declan Rice. But it was an aimless cross from Ben Johnson on his left foot into the box. There was no one in there apart from, I think it was Jared Bowen, who was at the near post. Or no, it was Antonio at the near post. Pointless cross. But we got away with it. But Benrahma does too many pointless crosses that we don't get away with. And we don't manufacture a chance out of it. I know he was very unlucky last night and he could have very much been the hero. It was an amazing piece of skill and it's something that we know he has in his locker, but he doesn't use it often enough and makes the wrong decisions far too often.
Would you start him against Frankfurt?
No.
Because I'm not being funny. I think that Lanzini, Fornals, I think their place is vulnerable.
Scrap that.
I think I'd probably consider starting Benny, to be quite honest.
You know what I'd do? I'd throw balls to the wind, Rob.
Yeah.
I'd drop Fornals.
Okay.
I'd drop Lanzini.
Ooh, you'd do both.
I'd drop Cress.
Okay.
I'd put Johnson.
So I'm guessing Dad comes in.
Johnson over on the left.
Yeah.
Sufal on the right. Benny on the left. Because Johnson can defend better on his own without being rude. And I put Vlasic in the 10. Bowen, Vlasic, Benny, and Antonio. Go fuck yourself. I'm telling you now, that'd put the shits up me if I was a defender.
Well, you'd be playing Vlasic in what should be considered
his natural role.
Natural role. Now, I'm not expecting him on one game to all of a sudden become, prime Trevor Brooking or anything like that. But, if you're going to turn around to him and say, listen, mate, right, I'm playing you in your favoured position.
Same as Benny.
I'm playing you in the biggest game of the season, arguably our biggest game since 1980. And I'm trusting you. This is what I'd be saying if I was David Moyes, because I'm guessing possibly he might be a little bit low on confidence. So you'd have to sort of like really try and build the guy up and be like, listen, I trust you. I've paid a lot of money for you. I'm playing you in your favoured position. I'm playing you in the biggest game for donkey's years. Go out there and show me what you got.
Yeah, but then I'd say the same with Benny.
Evening,
At
Ken.
the end of the day, you know what, and I agree with what Ken says. We struggled with breaking the press, and it was painful. It was, but I'd like to see us move the ball a little bit quicker. And the problem with Benny,
it was a bit pedestrian, wasn't it?
No disrespect to Benny, he likes to hold on to the ball a little bit too often and make the wrong decision. But next week, my personal opinion is I'd start him left, Vlasic centre, Bowen right, Antonio up top, Rice and Souček in there. Dawson and Zuma in the middle with Sufal right, Johnson left, and then obviously Areola in goal. And I'll be honest with you, if he does that, he shows me a set of bollocks, a system of intent. He wants to go out and do it. My head, Luke, this morning was fine. I got up, I did my work, I did my cleaning. I did go back to bed because I was absolutely shattered.
I thought you was about to say you did your workout. I was going to say,
no,
I can't imagine you in the Lycra giving it the old Mr. Motivator.
I've not worked out in about 25 years, Rob. Let's not dick around. But no, I had a really good day. I met some absolutely fantastic people. It was amazing. I got my shirt, obviously in the back. I've taken a bit of stick for getting that shirt from those indoors because I've decided to embrace being called Crocs rather than get the ump about it, which I'll be honest with you, I've never really got the ump about it. It's all a bit of fun and banter. I know it's nothing personal.
Banter.
I'm not being funny. Clive is called Smuggler.
Budgie Smuggler.
Because his nickname's Budgie. So we call him Smugs. I think he's probably got more of the ump, or reason to have the ump, because he's a pair of, Lycra wife fronts. So, no, but I had a really great day.
I bet you've got a pair of them, ain't you?
No, I don't look good in them at all.
I could just imagine you in your Crocs and in your Budgie Smugglers.
I'll ask Budgie if he's got a pair.
And a pair of socks.
No, not socks. No. Well, maybe Veruca socks.
Looking like a German. Did I just say that out loud?
Hey, did you hear about that? There were like 7,000 fans who stopped trying to break into the ground before the game. They wanted to put their towels on the seats.
Yes, I've seen that joke doing around. You've been saving that one. 1 hour and 9 minutes in. It took you that long.
I was going to start work 15 minutes ago, so we're going to have to wrap it up because Chloe's probably wondering what the fuck happened.
We are. And we're back tomorrow, aren't we? Because we're obviously going to need to do the match preview for the Arsenal game. So
we're going to have
what
to
time are you thinking, old chap?
Earlier is good because I start work at, I think, 5 or 6. Because it's just me and Paul tomorrow because the girls are going out for Tatum's.
Hold on. Wait just a minute. I am not taking any responsibility for that, mate. And we all know how you got blind.
You were the one that put the image of me in a pair of Budgie Smugglers and Crocs in his head. All right, that is your fault.
No. He was going, and we all know why he was going blind before that because his mother told him he would. That's all I'm saying.
They say it stunts your growth, but why put them magazines on the top shelf?
You
don't need to buy them magazines anymore because it's all free on the internet. If you need good websites, let me know. I'll hook you up.
Oh dear. So yeah, what time are we going tomorrow? What do you think? Don't get me up at the crack of dawn, for Christ's sakes. It's a Saturday.
Can we go
1? Oh, I thought you was going to say sort of like 9, 10 o'clock.
Well, it's between 11, 12 and 1. That's where I'm at. I'm not.
11, 12 and 1. We'll split the difference. Go 12. Go
right,
noon.
I do
High
I do
noon
me
showdown.
cleaning. I do me cleaning, and then I've got Paul in at 12. At 11, the girls fuck off for their bottomless brunch that they're going for one of the girls' birthdays, and then so then I'm available, and then I get to work in the evening.
I couldn't possibly comment, Trodge. I don't even know the websites to which Duke is referring.
I don't know if you noticed though, just in that shot there, look, I took this down so I could put my Crocs shirt up.
That's the one I was wearing to the ground yesterday.
It was.
Not that one, but my version of it.
I was wearing my blue one, which is here, just from around the room. Look, I don't care.
He uses them to sort of clean his wife's car. It's terrible.
Yeah, there.
Anyway.
Look, Becca
So we're going noon.
Girls' Day, whoop 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 whoop. Got country music and cocktails in about an hour.
Oh, and hopefully Sunday, this young man is going to be joining me around about 1 o'clock. That's the idea I floated. I'm not too sure if he's going to.
Yeah, I hate you bastards, because I was considering going over to the London Stadium and watching it in the supporters bar. I've got to work.
Have you? But you're the boss.
But yeah, I know. But I can't keep affording to pay too many wages, Rob. Especially next week when I'm going to about 15 or 16 different gigs in the course of May. Oh, we are still in it, Tom. Welcome.
Yeah.
Would you?
I thought I was the button monkey.
You are a monkey.
Oh, I'm going to leave it alone now. You can bloody do it.
For anyone, right? I said this yesterday to anyone. I know
he's pressing it again.
I'm just fuck it now. I'm just going up and down. I'm going back to the
Where
top.
are you going?
I'm going all the way up. I don't care. I'm going back to the start, the very first comment. Anyone who has nowhere to go for Thursday next week.
Show me the way to go home.
Let's turn my pub into a West Ham fortress. Please come here. If you need places to stay, there are Premier Inns and travel lodges, I believe, around the corner. There we are.
Yeah, there is. There is, but by Lewisham Station, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Budgie said the Green Street Elite. He said he might come down. I think Happy might come down. Rob, I mean, you're more than welcome. Bring George over as well, and Libby if they want to come. I mean,
I'm still debating whether I might even go to Frankfurt.
Well, listen, if you do, stay safe because they're pricks.
Although, I say Frankfurt, there's a few people I've been conversing with that seem to suggest that Cologne might be a good place to fly into because it's got sort of like some decent beer halls, this, that, and the other, and then get the train into Frankfurt on the day of the match and then
come back out again,
sort of thing. Yeah. So I'm still in two minds. I've got the time off work, so if I want to go, I can.
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
Oh, hello.
Something for Ken. Hang on.
Ken, what have you started? Are you
can't put your headphones on there though? Look, that's the problem.
No, hang on. Right, but no, put your headphones on, then put the hat on.
Oh, no, that ain't gonna work either because I've got a fat head.
Okay, well look, can you give us a Garth Brooks number? Can you sing?
Yeah,
like him?
Okay. No, I can't sing like him. No one can sing like Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is a legend.
Give us, come on, give us one of his songs. Come on. Don't let us down.
Blame it all on my roots. I've shown up in boots to ruin your black tie affair. The last one to know. How do you?
Oh no, that wasn't too bad actually. That was not too bad. I did actually buy a Garth Brooks, LP. I don't know what they call it. The album they call them now, don't they?
Vinyl, Rob. I think they were called back in your day.
No, this was a tape cassette. Actually, I got it.
Cheapskate. Hey, and it's SEU if you're going to spell it right. It's all shit out.
Terrible. And look, now he's gone deaf.
You know what? I don't need this shit from you, lot. I don't deserve it.
Anyway, so we're going noon tomorrow.
Huh?
Noon tomorrow, match preview for Arsenal. Those 15 watching, set it in your diary. If you hit the bell, you'll get the notification. So
I'll tell you what, I'm not even going to start.
Sharky's late. You're late. We're about to go home, mate. Well,
we're about to call it a day. There are 15 of you watching, and we have 8 likes. So if you've not liked it,
hang on.
Can you hit the like?
Come on, you. Come on. 16 of you. So we could get, well, depending upon who did the likes, it might be that the 16 in the chat are not the 68 that liked. I don't know. Get in there and give it a like and share us on your social media.
Be nice. Be nice.
I'll tell you what, I've got the little banner, haven't I? Where
We've got 11 now, Rob. We jumped up by another 3. All right, that was nice, wasn't it?
14. I've got. That's what it says here anyway. 14. So I'm gonna ask them very nicely.
I'm gonna like it. Yeah.
Like, comment on, share the stream, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon for alerts on new content. As always, we thank you very much indeed for your support. And if you're someone that has been dragged into the 21st century kicking and screaming like us two old farts, maybe social media is your thing. As Del Boy says, you know it makes sense.
I love Kent's comment here about you trying to predict the lineup for Arsenal.
Oh, cheers, Stuart. You're a gentleman. And Sharky, yeah, all right, mate, no problem. I'd say you turned up a little bit late to the party. But you're right. You know, we've all got bills to pay, and they're all going up.
And they just listen. You're all wonderful people. I've got it at 13 likes over on mine. I don't know what I've done wrong. But never mind. You're all wonderful, fantastic people in the chat. It's been great. I'm going to get to work. There's probably poor old Chloe's thinking, what the fuck's he doing? It's 25 minutes late, so I'm going to bugger off and get downstairs. Gatesy, I will see you at midday. You people in the chat, it's always a pleasure. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I'll go on.
What are we?
Oh!
What's German for massive?
Duke.
That'll do me. Come on, you Irons.